Chat is open. Okay, so you're live. We have 2 tornado warnings ongoing right now. So we already have a tornado warning or a tornado report on this storm as of 9 minutes ago. Let's check these velocities. Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, that's probably an insane tornado. Let's check the CC. I mean, I don't think it's really hitting much. But yeah, we have a insane tornado over here in the Oklahoma Panhandle, just south of Beaver. I mean, actually, there are some. I can't tell if this is like neighborhoods or not. I'm going to toggle the map. I mean, yeah, there's a house like right in the way of this. I'll circle it. Circle the house. And then bring the radar back up. I mean, yeah, it's like right on top of it. I guess not really. You might duck south of it. Let's see. They have it as an observed. They don't have it as PDS or emergency right now, but you definitely see the rotation on this thing is crazy. Looks like it may even be cycling. I have 2 separate areas of rotation. And then I believe we have another tornado warning over here in Ohio. This is the closest radar we have. I don't know how solid looking this is. You can see the area of rotation here. Right here, where these green and red come together. So we have a tornadic storm in Ohio as well as Oklahoma right now is our only 2 storms that are tornado warned right now. But this tornado watch goes until 11 p.m. So, and EF2 tornadoes are possible. I mean, that is like textbook as far as velocities go. I mean, look at that. This kind of looks like the Bogchito supercell from 2 months ago. Storms south of it don't look like they're organizing very much. But we're going to start to see these supercells popping up. And based off our sounding, they're going to look pretty classic. They're not exactly the most intense thing. It doesn't really support long track super violent tornadoes, but definitely can support some EF2 level tornadoes. And yeah, we could literally have 2 separate tornadoes on the ground right here. We have a very strong area of rotation and then another one just beneath it. So we could have twin tornadoes on the ground right now. I'm going to look up if we do. Not that I will be able to show anything on stream, but I would like to be able to confirm what people are seeing. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like we have a pretty crazy looking tornado on the ground. So I won't be able to show it here, but there is a tornado in progress, and the base that it is a part of is pretty large. So we probably do indeed have almost like twin tornadoes right here. Let's see if it'll let me. Oh yeah, we are updated. We just got a new radar scan. This almost looks like it's pointing. That's funny. And yeah, both those areas of rotation are still very tight. Let's check the. I actually legitimately think there's two tornadoes dancing around each other on the lowering in the storm. CC is so messy and doesn't really show much right now. But maybe. I think they're just updating this tornado warning. It's still just a confirmed tornado. They're just moving it. They've not upgraded the damage threat level to it yet. We go back to our storm in Ohio. You can see okay, so over Pleasant City and Buffalo is going to be where our concerning area of rotation is. Which is weird. It's kind of outside of the tornado warning. So I wouldn't be surprised if they update that. Okay, actually, looks like our second area of rotation is not as strong anymore. But I think this is all one big base with multiple different vortices in it. I'm going to pull up Max's stream. I think the audio will come through for just a second, but I don't want the audio to play because I don't need to get in any trouble. But I'm going to see if I can see anything. But you can... I think it's starting to get rain wrapped, so I don't think anyone's really seeing much right now. But it's definitely an intense tornado associated with the supercell. The structure of the entire storm is pretty sick. It's like a mothership supercell. But I think it is cycling right now. I think this thing is going to put down another one maybe here in the near future. I think these velocities may start to fall apart. As you can see right here is, yeah, okay. So our velocities are starting to fall apart. It kind of got drowned out in rain. But we are going to see if it can put on another show later. It probably will. Are these both have rotating wall clouds on them? The storm headed into Tulsa has a special weather statement for 40-mile-per-hour winds, and then this storm over here near Pryor Creek, Adair, Claremore, Sequoia, and Bushy Head. 60-mile-per-hour winds and 3/4-inch size hail on that. It's crazy how fast this thing kind of like ate itself. And we can see how like this supercell was like primed right here. Like this is one of the scariest little radar images you're gonna see on a tornadic supercell. Like when you have that clean inflow with that very pronounced hook. But then you can see it started to drown itself out in rain. It's kind of eaten itself whole. Which is a good thing because it was headed right towards slap out. Slap out. I don't know how you say it. Slap out Oklahoma. Who knows what goes on there? But we're going to see if this can do anything. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning in Spencer, Indiana. And I don't think I'm going to get the pronunciation on that. And in Utah, we have one. We have a severe thunderstorm in Utah. With almost 2-inch hail being reported in the suburbs of Salt Lake City. Fun fact for those that did not know, Salt Lake City has been hit by an EF2 tornado before. Some crazy footage. Let's check out our velocities on this thing. It's broadly rotating, but it's over all these mountains and stuff. It's going to be hard to get any surface-based rotation developing. Not that it's impossible, but warned for inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. And it's an environment for concerning severe weather. And then I think we have a line of storms up here in Wyoming. Yeah, we have a line of storms up here in Wyoming for 3/4-inch size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. A little bit bigger hail on the south side of it. It's relatively slow moving though, so that kind of makes it worse. Definitely don't want your car out in that. I mean, yeah, this thing is starting to look like a big blob of rain. I'm trying to remember the shortcuts. I mean, there's still a tight area of rotation on this thing. It's very tiny though. I mean, we're talking 0.7 miles of rotation. Is that a severe thunderstorm in Texas? I don't know why that. Oh, they updated this tornado warning. Okay, so that tornado I was talking about was like outside of the warning. They actually did update. You can definitely see the velocities on it are pretty tight. It's not radar confirmed or anything, but yeah, this storm over here in Ohio is pretty concerning. I believe it's in a 2% tornado area. Let's look. Hello, tornado. So yeah, this area is in a 2% tornado. Gosh, I'm blanking on the words. Outlook. So today in this area, there's a 2% chance of tornadoes within 25 miles of a given point. So, I mean, if you take, I don't know how wide of an area this is, we can predict how many tornadoes based off that information. Try to go from the center of this thing. All right, so we'll just say 200 miles. Yeah, we'll say 200 miles. So that is going to be, give or take, 8 tornado warnings. It's not going to be exact. It could be lower or less, but that's how many tornadoes you could expect in this 2% area over here. Yeah, so it's definitely cycling because we're going to start to see this area of rotation on the very southernmost side of the storm start to come together, and we'll see a hook start to form if it's successful in its cycling, and then we'll see a clear inflow. It's gonna appear, and then we'll see if it can stay healthy because that was very short-lived before. The severe thunderstorm warning in Perryton, Texas has been upgraded for inch-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Let's take a look at the hail core on this thing. There's the decibels. 62 decibels in this hail core. Once you hit 70 and up, that's where things get really crazy, but this is still damaging to anybody's windshield in the way of this. So you don't want to drive through that. See what it looks like on this next scan. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in Missouri with an inch. So a quarter size hail here in Pleasant Hope. Oh, that is a lot of thunderstorms over here. 60-mile-per-hour winds, inch size hail. They updated this tornado warning. Or I should say downgraded. It is no longer observed. They have it listed as a radar indicated, as well as baseball size hail in this storm. What is up, Lucas? How are you doing, man? Special weather statement for Bear Lake Valley. The special weather statements never tell me the state. There's so many. Is that another? Is that a tornado warning? So we have 3 active tornado warnings. But it says 2. Hopefully my counter is not broken. Or is this... I'm dumb. I think this is Canada. Definitely Canada. That's why it's not popping up. It's not a National Weather Service warning. Well, we can take a look at this. Yeah, you can see inflow cleared out, little hook on this. You got the inflow, and then you got the hook. It's honestly a healthy looking supercell up there in Canada. Probably headed towards Melbourne. See if I can play this radar. Actually, I don't know if it's headed towards Melbourne. It looks more like it's headed towards Dutton. All right, they've upgraded the severe thunderstorm warning to destructive for 2 3/4 inch size hail. Got the family watching? Yes, sir. Glad to hear it. Take a little look-ski over here at the weather in Florida. That's some big-time thunderstorms over the middle of the state. Florida on the central and east coast have been getting slammed with thunderstorms these past couple of days. I feel like everywhere is kind of seeing some, like we look at the national radar, everywhere's kind of seeing some rain today other than the Carolinas and Virginia. I mean, literally everyone but them, and maybe Louisiana. I don't think Louisiana's seen any rain today. They're down in New Orleans, actually, so it's literally just the Carolinas. Oh, wait, there's a little blip in South Carolina. So North Carolina and Virginia are being left out from seeing rain today. I'm going to pull up the HRRR model. What time is this for? Saturday, 8 a.m. Well, it is not Saturday. Today's Thursday. We're going to look at... This is what it's supposed to look at like at 6, so it's kind of been accurate. It's a little more southern, the supercell, than where they initially thought initiation was going to be. So that supercell we're seeing now was predicted to be over Dodge City, but it's kind of more in the Oklahoma Panhandle. But you can also see some cells pop up here. So this is kind of what it's going to look like tonight over here in our tornado watch zone. These storms down here in Oklahoma are going to get linear around 9 p.m. But we'll also still have a cluster of isolated cells over here from central Kansas down into northern Oklahoma. And that is going to be where our concerning zone is for the next 3 hours. But right now, our most concerning area for this next hour is going to be if these cells right here, that if we go to our radar, we did indeed have one pop up, are going to stay healthy. As we can see, this thing is broadly rotating right now. So you can see red going one direction, green going the other. So very broad rotation on that right now. Right inside of where that base would be. So right now there's probably a pretty cool looking wall cloud in there. We're going to see if it can get a clean inflow, because as you can see where an inflow usually would be headed into it. Oh, we actually in real time are starting to see it clear out. So you can look at, I'll highlight the area. Look at this area right here, and you can see those colors getting lighter. And that hook kind of gets bigger. And so like what we see here is the hook right here. This is the broadly rotating area. And then what it needs is a clean inflow where there's not a whole lot of precipitation and it can draw more air in. And it's not going to choke itself out. We can actually see in real time these colors start to get not as dense. So it's going from more orange to yellow. And then from there, if it clears out, this storm could get pretty organized, but as of right now, it is trying to organize. At its most organized was right here, just south of Beaver. This is literally, if you Googled supercell on radar, like this is what would pop up. Like this is textbook. If we look at these velocities at that time, like you can really see right here is probably our strongest area. We may have even had twins at a time. You can see two clear separate areas of rotation where we may have had twin tornadoes on one giant rotating wall cloud. But for now, we have a broad rotating lowering, most likely. And we do have our tornado report. From what I saw of the tornado, it looked pretty insane. The cloud base was super low to the ground, crazy motion. A little stovepipe came down from it, and up here in Oklahoma, those are the scariest kinds of supercells. Over here in Boise City, we have a destructive threat. 3-inch size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts over here in Boise City, Oklahoma. And you can see the... Is that a new one or an updated one? That's an updated one on that storm. So they're just increasing how long this one goes out for and who's included in the warning for that storm. So back to our storm over here in Ohio near Quaker City, just to the south, headed towards Woodsfield. You can see very clearly the inflow right here, and then that hook that's going to be right here. And that is exactly, if we switch to our velocities, right where our rotation is going to be. It's honestly not all that impressive right now, even though it looks like it on reflectivity. It kind of updated on me. But the rotation's not all that crazy. We actually have an area of rotation up to its northeast on this storm. But that's also a really crazy hail core on this storm. Let's read the decibels. 69 decibels. So that's some pretty big hail. It's like 2.5 inch size hail. The warning says 1 3/4, but it's probably more like 2. They just issued a new mesoscale discussion for this area where EF1 tornadoes are possible. New severe thunderstorm warning in Carbon, Montana, Perry, Indiana, and Hancock, Kentucky. And it looks like they just issued a severe thunderstorm watch as well on top of this mesoscale discussion. And this goes for the next 7 hours. So up here in Ohio, Pennsylvania, it's going to be a long afternoon of severe weather. Go back to this storm and see. I don't know if it looks any more. I mean, that yellow retreats a little bit. The storm could do it. Again, this is a pretty gnarly hail core they have in here. Almost 3-inch size hail. Now I'm going to have to look up how big 3-inch size hail is. Baseballs. 2 3/4 inch is baseball. Up to 4 inches where it becomes a softball. So we have baseballs falling out of the sky on this supercell. So hopefully the storm chasers that are on it, let's check how many chasers are on this thing. It's in here. Wow, that is a lot. We're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and looks like this guy just went through the hail core. So let's hope his windshield's okay. It's probably not if he was just sitting in that. A new tornado warning in Ohio for Belmont and Monroe. I think that's just going to be an extension of this one. Oh, no, it's not. We have 2 separate tornado warning cells over here in Ohio. Oh, yeah, you can, right near Paris, you can see that hook. Again, clear inflow. Heading into the storm, little hook. We can go to our velocities here. They're really not. Check this one. They're really not all that. It keeps updating on me after I make the drawing. Anyway, it's hard to tell with these because I don't know how close the radar is to these storms. Because you can see the rotation a little better on this radar. But nonetheless, 1 1/4 inch size hail. That tornado warning goes for an hour for the storm. Better to be safe than sorry, that is for sure. And see these velocities coming together a little more. Because you can see the hook. The hook is there. It just doesn't have a clear inflow at all. So even if something were to drop briefly, it would be wrapped in rain. Ain't nobody seeing it. It kind of looks like these storms might go linear way prior to 9 p.m. Looks like it could be in the next hour and a half. Look at this storm in Boise City. My goodness. Yeah, that is going to be 3-inch size hail, 100%. We're up in the 76 decibels of reflectivity. Yep, 3-inch size hail. That's insane. That is bigger than a baseball. That is in between a baseball and a softball over here in Boise City. That will wreck your car. 6.9 magnitude earthquake struck Japan today? Yeah, dude. Earth shifting, man. Venezuela had a 7.5 too. So I think that was more like last night. I don't know. I don't think this app reports earthquakes, but yeah, it's pretty insane. Severe thunderstorm warning in Mississippi. I don't even think they're in a severe outlook today. We have one in Georgia too. Both for 60-mile-per-hour winds and a 3/4 inch size hail. It's like pea size hail. Let's see if it goes into it. It doesn't list it on that one. Hazard. They're not really listing it, just possibilities. If we go to the model for today, it's crazy. So all these storms fired up on the East Coast, and then all that moisture is going to push to the West Coast of Florida. So both sides of Florida are seeing it today. What is that? Almost a linear system just south of Pensacola. Any hoot. Back to the radar. It is not loading. I'm going to have to switch radars and then switch back. This whole area is not loading now. Let's see if it'll load over here. I'm going to switch to outlooks and then we'll see if it loads when I come back. So this is our main area of concern today. This whole oh my gosh, I can't speak. Hatched area. And this is basically a risk assessment of the environment. So this hatched area can see environments that can support EF2 plus tornadoes if storms stay discrete and organized. And then the surrounding area could see brief tornadoes either embedded in the lines later or just in severe thunderstorms in general. But they are likely to not be very intense. You still want to be paying attention though. Let's see if our radar is loading now. It is. Our inflow might clear out enough on this storm. We have 2 tornado reports over here now. It's just for the same tornado. A new severe thunderstorm warning over here in Oklahoma for Chateau, Locust Grove, Peggs, Moody's, Hobart, Woodall, Wagner, Maisie. It's a big line of thunderstorms with 60-mile-per-hour winds being reported out of it. Probably look at these velocities. Probably crazy. It's crazy. It almost looks like a giant area of rotation in there. This thing's churning. 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1.25 size hail. Flooding report here in Tulsa. They just issued a flash flood warning just now. For the next 3 hours, because it will probably not stop raining here. Maybe for a little while, but it will see more rain tonight. So let's hope that the flooding in Tulsa does not become life-threatening. Trees down reported with this thunderstorm over here near Springfield, Missouri. You can really, like, these storms are just so like widespread. Like, that's a huge amount of area. Like, let's go from the center of this. And probably that's the outer edges of it all the way. So that is crazy. Let's go back to our tornado warnings in Ohio. The velocities still aren't all off the chain on this one. And down here, you really can't see nothing on it. And you can see the area of rotation is still there, but it's starting to get clogged with rain over here near Woodsfield, Ohio. Tornado warning up here in Canada. When this supercell looks crazy. You can see the rotation on it. Do they have... They do have CC. Can't see anything on it though. So this tornado warning is ongoing for the next 30 minutes. All right, so we can definitely see our inflow start to clear out. So this thing is going to gear up again. As we can see our inflow going into the hook, and we see our big hook starting to form. So the clearer this gets, the more concerning it is going to be. And let's take a look at our velocities. They're starting to get a little more intense inside of that hook. So the supercell is almost officially cycled. We can play it back where it was. It was absolutely insane looking supercell. As textbook as it gets. Got absolutely clogged up with rain. Right here just looked like a giant blob. And you can see it start to take its shape again. So in the next 2 radar scans, we're going to see how organized this thing can get and how fast it can do it. And the faster it gets organized, the more time it's going to have to produce a tornado before it starts having to compete with the storm to its south, the multiple storms to its south, and become just one giant convective system. But I mean, we can literally watch this thing from back here. It's just a little blip. And like, look how fast this thing organized. Right here, not very organized. 4:38 p.m. And then to its peak intensity at 5:12 p.m. So you're talking, that's 40 minutes before it becomes a crazy looking supercell. Like these things fire up so fast. And they cycle even faster. So we're going to see how fast this thing is going to cycle. New severe thunderstorm warning in Oklahoma. I believe they just updated this one to last till 7 for this massive line of thunderstorms. Fairly intense. 1.25 inch size, hail 60-mile-per-hour winds. This hailstorm south of Perryton is pretty intense. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, almost 2-inch size hail in it. You got 70-mile-per-hour winds for this severe thunderstorm with the tornado warning on it, and 1.5-inch size hail, which is a whole inch less from where it was when this tornado warning was issued. This is the newest scan. Doesn't look any more impressive than where it was from the last scan, I don't think. It's definitely still organizing from where it was, though. From where it was at. So, we don't have any observed tornadoes ongoing right now. They're all radar indicated. And then we have a destructive thunderstorm that is now 4-inch size hail. This is softballs flying out of the sky. Literal softballs right here. If we check our decibels, are at 77. I believe that's just an updated tornado warning. I believe. They put a tornado possible tag on this. Well, I think that's where that alert came from. So in this environment, this supercell is entering. EF2 tornadoes are possible. 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible. And 2.5-inch size or baseball size hail is possible in this area for the next hour and 20 minutes. So the supercell is in a now or never mode. Because after this, I think it's going to get pretty linear over here by the panhandle. But back to this storm. I mean, that is incredible. 4-inch size hail. Got a new tornado warning in Ohio. Then they're just updating it. This one's about to expire. They put a tornado possible tag on the storm. Again, radar indicated rotation. It will expire and the tornado possible tag will stay on it. We had a funnel cloud report on this storm up here in Ohio 5 minutes ago. So you can see that area of rotation. It may not be tight, but that does not mean it can't produce. As you can see, it's still got a very clear inflow. So whether or not this is going to be a violent tornado, it can definitely still drop something. Mess some roofs up, throw some trampolines. It's headed right towards Lisbon, it looks like. Maybe it'll duck just to the south of it. It looks like the storm from its south is going to merge with it very soon. So if it does, I mean, yeah, you can see these two storms coming together. So hopefully if this thing produces a tornado, it'll be very brief and it won't hit very much. That is the hope. We do see we have some houses. So for their sake, let's hope this thing doesn't drop anything. And if something does drop, let's hope it is very weak. Oh, and I cannot believe this thunderstorm over near Boise City. I've never seen softball size hail radar indicated before. If a softball hits your car falling from the sky, it is going to smash your windshield. Anybody driving on this road, I don't know what the name of this road is. Surprised it's not like... How zoomed in do I have to get? It's not going to tell me the name of the road. We had a 2.5 inch that was reported with a video from emergency management. I mean, this is crazy. This hailstorm is nuts. It's not very fast moving either. This thing is kind of just sitting there, dumping the largest hail of all time. Not actually. It's definitely not. 4 inches, not a record, but that will mess your car up. I think this tornado warning is on there for the next 30 minutes. This tornado will leave the warning by that time is up. So we have 2 tornado warnings ongoing. This one that is trying to get its inflow cleared out, and it looks like it may have it. Yep, these velocities are starting to get a lot more intense, and that inflow is starting to look a little clearer. We have our hook. We have our inflow clearing out. You can see how it went from super yellow and contaminated to now we have a bunch of green and light yellow. If that continues to get more cleared out, this storm has better shots of staying organized and dropping an intense tornado in this environment. We're going to also take a look at our atmospheric soundings. This is going to be our wind profile. This is going to be the same tornado warning we're already looking at. But basically, anytime you see, I can't draw on this, anytime you see these loops as it gets higher into the atmosphere, you have more tilt, more spin. And that is the stuff that fuels tornadoes. Different. Oh my gosh. Okay. We can see our hook start to get really more defined. This might, if we go back to this, it might try to look the exact same. Maybe not quite that good, but we have the storm to its south that's going to start nudging it. So we're going to see that hail core is just to the south of Slapout, Oklahoma. Okay, they've downgraded the hail threat on this to 2 3/4 inch size hail. We're back to baseballs, not softballs. And we have a mini hailstorm of its own right here. It's not even severe warned. Headed right towards Guyman, I think. It's not really moving anywhere. It's kind of just been sitting here. A lot of these storms aren't really going anywhere fast, that's for sure. They ain't running away from you. Down here we have an environment that's capable of sustaining EF1 tornadoes. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and 1 to 1 3/4 inch size hail. And that is just this. If we're going to have a tornado, it is going to be embedded in this. You can see our areas of rotation. If something were to get tight over here, that is where we could get embedded tornadoes. For now, it is just broad. But observe 60-mile-per-hour gusts in here. Inch size hail. Poor Tulsa has a flash flood warning for the next 3 hours, pretty much. That is an update for this tornado warning on the storm near Slapout. And we can see this is a crazy line of thunderstorms. As far as wind goes, we got 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts reported south of Casper, Wyoming. We have a severe thunderstorm watch for the next 4 hours here. And that is literally just going to be for this line of storms, and it's not moving that fast. I mean, we're talking about... It's not moving slow either. I forget how often this thing is updating. But this thing might start spinning. Oh my gosh, this might get tornado warned. Look at this coming together. You can even see the inflow on it and everything. I have an inflow and the world's tiniest hook, but this thing might genuinely... Let's look at the velocities in the past. This genuinely might get tornado warned soon up here in Wyoming. What does the mesoscale say? The mesoscale doesn't even support an atmosphere for tornadoes. Let's look at our sounding. I mean, I can see why. You don't even see, like... The tornado probabilities are literally so low. They're so low. With this wind profile. But I don't know. This thing is kind of shaping up. So I'll keep an eye on that up here in Wyoming. Yeah, our storm near Lisbon that had a reported funnel cloud is now merged with the storm to its south. So this is basically going to just be one giant wind and hail storm. You can see its hail core headed right towards Lisbon. 1.25 inch size hail reported in that. Man, it's days like this in Oklahoma where I wish I was out there, dude. Okay, so they actually issue a tornado warning. They issued a tornado warning for this Boise City hailstorm. Let's see the... Okay, yeah, you can see the velocities right here. Very close, very tight. Classic convergence signature on it. It doesn't have that classic supercell shape, but it doesn't need it. Does not always need it. You can kind of see an inflow and a tiny hook, but this is a very destructive storm over here. About to enter the Texas Panhandle. I believe that's where it's kind of headed down. It's like spiraling down there towards Stratford. They issued a severe thunderstorm warning for this hailstorm for 2-inch size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. It might start headed towards Guyman. I don't think it's over anything. I literally don't think there's anything here. This could be... We got some silos, it looks like. I don't see any homes, necessarily. So, big hail in this hailstorm. This tornado warning, they extended it before. We have this one in Canada, in Ontario still. So I'm surprised that Kansas has been quiet today. But as you can see, kind of near Dodge City, we're going to start to see these blips start to fire up, I'm pretty sure. As it is 6:22 Eastern Daylight Time, just 5:22 where this is at. If we look at the model, I guess Kansas is kind of looking at. I think this updated. Okay. So our HRRR run has updated. As you can see, this is the storm that we're looking at now. This one right near Woodward. This is the storm we're looking at now. And its future holds becoming part of a linear system. These hail storms right here, I don't know if any of them are going to organize and produce. They could. It'd probably be brief. Our main concern is going to be these supercells in central Kansas, I think. This is going to be our most concerning time. And it looks like they start popping up right around 7 o'clock. So we're not far from seeing these little blips. It's kind of what we have right now, right? From becoming tornadic here in the next couple of hours. Oh, my radar's loading. Yay. All right, so this storm is looking like it might drown itself out again. Oh, wait. I was just behind. So here's where we had our clean inflow. Our inflow is not necessarily that clean, and it's starting to start a storm merger. These velocities are really contaminated right now. They usually clear those up pretty fast, though. So we'll see. This was the supercell we had earlier. That was insane looking. I mean, that is scary looking. Very intense tornado likely was on this. Was this even in our... Yes, this was in our hatched area. So this area right here is our concerning area right now. And then this will be kind of for later tonight as the storms get over there. Wow. That's probably 80? Oh, 70. Okay. 2-inch size hail in there. Let's check out this tornado warnings velocities. You can definitely see the rotation in there. They updated the destructive thunderstorm warning. 70 mile per hour radar indicated winds. Baseball size hail still on this storm. New severe thunderstorm warning in Ohio. So is this one with a tornado possible tag. Yeah, you can see the rotation is still strong on this storm. South of Bellsville. About to cross into West Virginia. So West Virginia is going to see some severe action today. Michigan had some storms today. Still having some storms. Let's see, we almost had a little Boeing line segment right near Bay City where we had some intense hail. Same over here towards Emmett. So yeah, there's definitely a hail risk here today in Michigan. So here is our main driving factor of our enhanced risk is going to be this 30% SIG 1 wind. It's going to be, I believe, 90 mile per hour winds possible in this area. I'm going to double check that though. $75 miles per hour or greater. So we've already seen a storm in this area producing those 75 mile per hour gusts over here, these 70 mile per hour ones. So our damaging wind threat is still very much in play, and that's the main driving factor behind today's severe weather risk. It's kind of two different stories when it comes to the hail and wind threat and tornado threat today. Wow, we can start. Look at that hook on this thing. Where did this come from? Look at that inflow clear out. Look how fast that cleared out. We had no inflow? Huge inflow. Let's check the velocities in this thing. That is not velocity, is it? Yo. Got 100 mile per hour winds on these velocities? 121 mile per hour winds inside of the storm. That doesn't necessarily mean at the ground, at the surface level, but that is like, that's category 3 level winds inside the storm, if this is accurate. Sometimes radars overplay things. I'm not saying this is confirmed, but that's the radar reading. Category 3 winds, maybe even 4, up inside the storm. I mean, look at that hook. That's a huge hook. This is like one giant supercell now. They got a tornado warning this thing. It's headed right towards this Tahlequah. I can't say things like this, bro. I've never seen this word in my life. But this is concerning. This is so concerning because these winds come together right over here near Hobart and Oklahoma. That's what I was talking about. Once you see this tighten, I talked about the storm right here. And I was like, if we're going to see a tornado somewhere in this area, it's going to have to tighten. And it did. It tightened right here. And these winds are flying at the speed of light. Not actually. It's figurative. I mean, you just don't see that every day. 104, 100, 106. As you go from 57 miles per hour one way and 30 miles per hour the other way. That's 80 mile per hour gate to gate shear. That is EF1 intensity. It looks like it got a little broader on this scan. That's slightly less concerning, but I mean, you can still see its inflow. You can see the hook. I am surprised that this is not tornado warning. It's very concerning looking, and especially in an environment where EF1 tornadoes are possible, which we just read 80 mile per hour gate to gate shear. So they have it listed as a tornado possible tag, but I think they need an actual tornado warning on that. Columbiana, Ohio. I think that's just expiring. No, this onset as of a minute ago. They just updated the tornado warning on the storm merger. So the storm merged, and they still have, I mean, they still have an embedded area of rotation that they're warning for, just to the east of Lisbon. It's very embedded, though. If there is anything in it, at least it's past Lisbon, because nobody would have been able to see this coming. But I'm glad that they had it tornado warned preemptively, just in case anything were to drop. This storm down here near Bellsville is looking a little more concerning on reflectivity. It's got a little more defined hook. Its velocities are pretty tight, but that's why they have it as tornado possible as it heads into West Virginia. Our tornado warning on this storm has expired. See, our velocities are there, but they're weak. Broad velocities over here on this storm as well. Wow, these hailstorms are insane. We have 4 separate hailstorms. Every time you see this light color, this light shade of pink, those are going to be our hail cores. We have these count, even though they're tiny hail cores. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 separate hailstorms ongoing here in the Texas and Oklahoma Panhandle area. And not no little hailstones either, I might add. Or not little hailstones. 1.25 inch, 2.5 inch, that's almost a baseball. 1.25 inch, 2 inch, 2.75 inch, that is baseball. This has been our crazy hailstorm that is now tornado warned because you can see these. It would be right in the middle of the hail core. We'd have a tornado throwing baseballs around over all this farmland. Oh, this poor farm. Is right in the middle of the hail core. It's not in the middle of it. Okay. Is anything in this hail core? I can't tell what kind of structure this is. Definitely a structure, though. Whatever structure this is getting pelted with baseballs. It's crazy. So we have 2 active tornado warnings. We have it for that crazy destructive thunderstorm and then the storm up in Ohio near Lisbon that had a funnel cloud reported on it previously. And you can see these are the lower level rotations, actually. It's not that intense on the normal velocities. Got special weather statements flying left and right over here in northern Ohio. Severe thunderstorm in Mississippi. It's a pretty intense line of storms here. Some 60-mile-per-hour winds on this line of storms. Got 2 severe thunderstorm warnings over here in Florida. One over near Daytona Beach. 60-mile-per-hour winds, 3/4 inch size hail. And you can see that. Like, these hailstorms here in Florida are like nothing compared to that one in Texas. Look at this tiny little hail core. And then we fly all the way over here to Texas. We had an 100-mile-per-hour wind gust. 101 mile per hour reported wind gusts measured by an Oklahoma mesonet site 3 miles south-southeast of Boise City. 100 miles per hour. Forgive me if I'm wrong, that is Category 2 hurricane force winds. Yeah, a little mental refresher. Yes, that is smack dead in the middle of Category 2 hurricane wind thresholds. Category 2 is 95 to 110 miles per hour. So we got hurricane force winds out here throwing baseballs around. That is what we're dealing with out here in the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles. That is no joke. 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts and baseballs. And it's tornado warned because it's freaking rotating. Like, the storm is a maniac. That's the only way I can put it. And this storm up here, this hailstorm near Guyman, is honestly getting pretty organized. You can see it starting to broadly spin here. 2 different colors. And you can see it start to take its shape. We may start to see a hook develop down here while this inflow stays clear. But as you can see, it's a very tiny hook right now. And it's got a lot of inflow. So this storm might start to organize. And I think it's actually, switch to our tornado threat. It's in our 2% threat, and it's headed towards our SIG-1 area. And SIG-1 tornado threats is for EF2 plus. If we request a sounding, we should be able to see why on our wind profile. Yeah, you can see the big loop on the right side. The larger and more clear that loop is, usually the more intense these tornadoes can be. It represents all the wind speeds and directions at different levels of the atmosphere. So the wind at the surface is moving a completely different direction as a kilometer in the sky. And that's what causes the spin. That's like the simplest way I can put it. These storms are already starting to become linear. As we near the 7 o'clock hour, we should start to see some storms go up here in Kansas. And as you can see, we can start to see the storms right by Dodge City and Garden City. These storms are likely going to blow up. This whole area and this tornado watch. 7 o'clock and onward is when that concern comes into play. I still can't believe 100 miles per hour? That's not happened outside of tornadoes on any of my live streams. This is our only tornado warning active, by the way. This is a crazy hailstorm. I wonder what this looks like. Is there a chaser on this? Not that I can show them, but I want to see if there is. No, nobody's chasing the storm. Everyone wants their cars intact. I'm honestly curious. I can show traffic cams, so I'm going to see if I can... I got a new tornado warning. Or is this the same one? Cherokee, Oklahoma. No, this is the storm I was talking about. Now it's tornado warned? Not earlier when I was talking about it? Right here? Y'all waited? They waited till like here. They just issued this. When was that onset? When was onset? A minute ago. I tornado warned this storm myself. Like 10 minutes ago. Was it 10 minutes ago? Let me go back to... Yeah, 10 minutes ago. I said they should tornado warn this. I'm just ahead of them, dude. And it honestly doesn't even look as impressive as it did then. Like, this was probably... I mean, these winds are crazy in here regardless, but somebody reported a large wall cloud with fast rotating motion. I wonder if anybody's on this storm. Let's see. Nobody's on this storm either. We have 2 tornado warnings and nobody's chasing it. At least publicly. Streaming it. Got a bunch of broad areas of rotation in all these severe thunderstorm warnings. This is honestly another pretty concerning cell here. They're going to have to tornado warn this too. Sleep at the wheel. These radar analysts. Look at this. We got our hook, we got our inflow, we got our velocities. Like, it's been broadly rotating for a while too. And it's getting stronger. What does it look like on reflectivity? Yeah, you can see the storm start to organize a bit. I mean, look at that hook. You can see the hook. See the inflow. See the clear signs of tight rotation. The motion on this is probably crazy. Do we have storm chasers on this? We do not. I want to try to get a view of the storm that I can actually show. I'm going to go to see if Stratford, Texas has any public cameras. They don't have a giant map of it. Let me see it. This. Oh, my goodness. These velocities are really tight over here. They're updating this tornado warning. Or they're issuing a new one somewhere else. Nope. Just updating this one. Can see why that is. Is it observed or still radar indicated? Still radar indicated. Don't have anything on the CC, but that's some pretty tight rotation there. Let's look at this storm over here. I don't know, dude. Is it at least... They don't even have it listed as tornado possible. Let's check. Let's see if I can see. Is there a spearman? I don't see a spearman, dude. They not have... I don't see any. Are there any cameras? It's gotta be over, like, where are the cameras, dude? I can't full screen it. I don't even think I could see anything. I mean, I can't find any live cams up here in the panhandle. And there's the tornado warning on the. So I'm 10 minutes ahead of them. This is the storm I was literally just talking about. I was literally just talking about this storm not being tornado warned. It's two back to back. Somebody shipped me out to the National Weather Service up here for this area because my goodness. Just kidding. No hate. They're great at their jobs. I mean, you can really see these velocities coming together. So, see that hook. I think they're just waiting for it to get super concerning. I don't think they thought it was going to stay discrete. I think they thought it was going to fall apart, but now we have our classic supercell shape here. And a new severe thunderstorm warning in Ohio. Not this one? Oh, they just moved it. 50-mile-per-hour winds, any size hail. I think we get a new model run. Is my DVR working on this thing? I think so. I think anyone can scroll back through my stream. I want to make sure. Let's see. Can I pull up National Hurricane Center, Triple Weather Outlook? Yeah, there is an 80% chance that this storm in the Pacific will form. Looks like it would head towards Hawaii. But the continental North America and South America will be unaffected by this storm. But yeah, that will be, I believe, our first storm in the Pacific. And it's very hot in the Pacific right now. Very hot. I don't know if I can see sea surface temperature anomalies. Maybe. Let's see. What could be on this? Let's see if we can check. It's shear. Surface, upper air, accumulation, severe weather, winter weather. No, I'm not looking at the right thing. Okay. H triple R. Let's go to our precip. Composite reflectivity. It says Thursday 2 p.m. So let's check 7 p.m. So these storms that are going up near Garden City and Dodge are supposed to get organized here shortly. And I think those are going to be our more concerning storms. This storm might try to clear out again. Oh no, I'm way behind. Not on the right radar for this. There we go. Let's check out our velocities. Very tight. No CC drop that we can see, but intense hail core on that storm too. It's not just a tornado threat. They ever warned that storm up in No, I don't think it ever produced anything. So 3 active tornado warnings all in Oklahoma and Texas area. I believe they're going to have this tornado warning expire. And they don't even have a tornado possible tag on it. Rotation's kind of broad, though. It's very tight. And so right here, we may have had a brief tornado. Where these velocities were in that yellow. This is probably a brief tornado we had, and it is now falling apart. The area of rotation is still there. I doubt they're going to let that tornado warning expire. But they might. You never know. Our velocities look like they might be weakening on this storm. Near Lipscomb. A news of your thunderstorm warning in Montana. Winter storm watches? What? You're lying. A winter storm watch? That is June 25th. That's crazy. And this is warned for 50-mile-per-hour winds and inch-size hail in Montana. Some severe storms popping up in Montana. Our convective outlook today, I mean, it's all over the place. We have almost, or actually, well over half under some kind of risk of severe convective weather. From central New York to Nevada, up into Montana, down into central Texas. Like, that's crazy, dude. That is crazy. And like I said, the only areas being left out, the Carolinas. Looks like the Midwest will miss out. Central and southern Texas. And all of the West Coast ain't seeing nothing. No thunderstorms, no nothing. So we have less areas of nothing going on than we have of areas that have stuff going on. Oh yeah, this supercell is getting swallowed whole by rain. Our area of velocity is still in it though. Where is this one? It's not really. But still a massive, like this blob of a hailstorm has just been vibing out. Down here, literally just skirting both panhandles. Just hanging out. $70-mile-per-hour winds reported. This is in our 75-mile-per-hour area in our convective outlook for damaging wind. Let's see, overlaps perfectly. So these storms are going to start producing some major wind gusts. As we can see, we already had an 100-mile-per-hour wind gust in Boise City, Oklahoma. That is no joke at all. That is Category 2 hurricane winds. Now let's check on our storms up here in Kansas. They're really not upscaling yet. They're really not. Let's see our line of thunderstorms over here. So basically we're going to have 2 linear threats, and then right here is where our supercellular action is going to be. Mississippi has a new severe thunderstorm warning. It's going to be for the same thunderstorm. 60-mile-per-hour winds over here in Meridian. We had a 60-mile-per-hour gust reported at 4 p.m. in Jackson, Mississippi. Handheld anemometer, 67 miles per hour. Trees down in Florida. See, storms kind of start to die down. Let's start to see storms initiate along this outflow boundaries of these Central Florida storms. We have one tornado warning active, and it's gotten pretty gobbled up. Area rotations somewhat intense in the middle of all that. But this is our only tornado warning active right now. It's just barely in our tornado watch. This Gaiman storm is looking a little disorganized. It's crazy this hailstorm has just been a literal ball. Like a buzzsaw. Almost looks like a miniature hurricane the way it's like rotating. You can see it spin. It's crazy. But it looks like its hail core is starting to weaken. It looks like even these storms in Kansas are weakening. We have some weird... Here's the thing though, this radar has like some weird contamination thing going on. Let me check the national radar. I mean, no, there's literally nothing going on up here. And it's 7 o'clock. So I guess we have a cap in place here, and we're seeing if storms are ever going to break it. But the longer it takes to break it, the more concerning it is. And we still have probably 3 hours of daylight left here. Still hot. See how hot it is. Where is our... I want to see the heat. It's in the 80s. Where's our dew points? And let's see our... So yeah, you can see... We do have... Where's our significant tornado parameter? Let's see where we should be concerned. That was all not for today. Alright. So right now... And it looks like it completely falls apart by... I mean... You know, like by 11, our significant tornado parameter values are pretty much gone. So right now is our scariest window, and it doesn't look like we have any storms initiating in our scary looking area. I mean, we have 5.2s, 5.6, so we're almost touching 6 on the significant tornado parameters, but there is nothing here. Everything is to the south. And it's just hailstorms right now. Gusty hailstorms up here in the Texas Panhandle. A tornado report in Albuquerque is a landspout. And Los Lunas. Wonder where that. Let's go to our nearest radar here. When that would have been was 5:30. So this storm right here would have gave us a little land spout. And look, from this radar, they look like two more blobs. But not a whole lot going on right now. Which is a very good thing. Very, very good thing. Let's look for... Wow, we got some very high winds over here. When did our... So our rotation was probably at its strongest here. And then it kind of fell apart. Very high winds in here, though. 70 mile per hour. That is almost touching hurricane force winds. See these upper level winds screaming. 40 knots. That's Saturday. Let's look at today. I mean, these upper level. Let's go to the 200 millbar level. We can see those 70 knot winds. Our dew point was right here the whole time. And this tornado warning will expire here in 20 minutes if they don't just take it off completely. So both our mesoscale discussions are going to expire here in 20 minutes as well. Wow. I mean, I'm not seeing anything initiating here in Kansas. Let's check our surface-based cape. And we have the cape to do it. Let's check our... So there's definitely a cap in place over here in Kansas. That's why these storms aren't As you can see, where there's no cape, there's a lot of sin. Sin is preventing convection, where cape is allows convection. So our area of storms that we're looking for to go up, there's a huge cap in place. I mean, there's not anything that is going to initiate in this with relatively nothing to help it. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see if our H triple are updated. Because this is what we're supposed to be seeing right now, but obviously we have a huge cap in place that's not happening. So in the next hour here, we should see storms start to go up in this area. And that is going to be our concerning area. Just check where that tornado warning is at. I don't see a new one, so they might be taking this one off. One for Ontario, and then there's this one. Severe thunderstorm warning in Ellis and Woodward, Oklahoma. For 70-mile-per-hour winds and inch-size hail. Let's see if there's even any, like, crazy rotation in here. I mean, there's definitely still rotation. It's not very strong. Some pretty strong rotation on this storm. No tornado possible tag. Got some crazy hail in it, though. 2.5 inches, almost baseball-sized hail. It's crazy, dude. Doesn't look like anything is happening here. I was actually behind on the radar, too. This hail core right here to the southwest of Canadian Texas might get tornado warned here soon. Because it's pretty strong velocities, but there's a pretty intense hail core in there, so could be contamination. I don't know. I don't know if this forecast is gonna bust or not. I really don't. There's nothing initiating here. I mean, nothing. Check our satellite. We have. Look at these hail storms on satellite. This is crazy. Let's look at our echo tops. I'm gonna have to Google what KFT is. Kilofeet. It's 1,000 feet. So these things are topping at 65,000 feet. That is insanity. 66,000 feet. That is crazy high in the atmosphere. Once this tornado warning expires, if nothing's really happening, I mean, there's nothing happening in our area of concern. And I mean nothing, dude. There's our storms that did initiate just died out. And it's not just this radar. It's not just the Dodge City radar. Which is what I thought it was, because you can see, like, it's kind of bugging, but. So yeah, I genuinely think these hailstorms are going to be our biggest risk right now. We just have big lines of thunderstorms. I think this one's getting smaller. We had a 75 or 70 mile per hour wind gust reported. Tahlequah. I have no idea whether I said that right, but that storm's leaving our tornado watch and heading into our severe thunderstorm watch. I'm curious if our storm chasers are repositioning. Let's show me who this is. I don't want to pull their feet up. Otis Project. Looks like they're repositioning. Brandon Payne, Jacob McMillan. I guess they're all, looks like they're all kind of headed out to central Oklahoma along the Kansas border. So we'll see if anything happens, but I really don't see that happening soon. So I just see our big hail cores over here. This is actually a destructive thunderstorm now. that they have over here near Canadian. For 3-inch size hail, it's a little bigger than a baseball. 70-mile-per-hour winds. That's a high-end tropical storm. High-end tropical storm winds throwing around baseballs over here near south of Canadian, Texas. We have a new mesoscale discussion for EF1 tornadoes, 80-mile-per-hour winds, and 1 inch to 1 3/4 inch size hail. That is ongoing till 8:45. These storms look like they're going to become linear. Here's going to be one big blob. So you can see the gap is starting to close between Glacier and Canadian. And then it'll be an embedded tornado risk. And they won't be very powerful. I mean, EF1, 110 mile per hour. That's getting close to its wind gust level. I'm talking about 70 mile per hour wind gusts. It's crazy. So the tornado threat will not be that intense with these storms. But we had a confirmed 100 mile per hour wind gusts in Boise City with this giant blob of a storm we had earlier. Which is insane. That is crazy. I want to see the echo tops on this thing. Holy smokes. 60,000 feet. $59,000 feet. Yeah, roughly 50 to 60,000. Topped at 64,000 on this storm near Lipscomb. Definitely botched that, but it is what it is. Let's see, our 70 decibel reading, that is what's forcing this destructive thunderstorm warning for Canadian, Texas, and surrounding areas. It's not really a whole lot here, but if we look at our map, a tornado warning. Where is that at? Wyoming. Oh my goodness. I was talking about this line of storms earlier in Wyoming. Its mesoscale doesn't even support tornadoes, but we saw this thing spinning earlier on stream. Just make sure that this is on the right thing here. I don't want it to be paused, but I don't want it to loop either. So we can see this area of rotation. We can follow this area of rotation all the way back to where I looked at it before. Possibly. Not on this radar side, at least. But you can see that area of rotation. It's very strong. And you can see the hook on it. It's ongoing for the next 20 minutes. We also have a Boeing line segment over here near Slater and Chugwater for your 75 or 70 mile per hour winds. Oh, yeah, you can see there's a lot of hail on this. We have another air rotation over here. Wow. Shall we look at the winds here? 50, 60, 80 mile per hour winds. $70 mile per hour wind gusts reported here in Wyoming 15 minutes ago. this big severe thunderstorm warning. They just have one giant one. This is how you should do it for line storms. These people over here in Wyoming are doing a great job. 70-mile-per-hour winds. Like you can see, we have 3 different, like, what is this? What is this? 3 different blocks, brother. Just do one big severe thunderstorm warning right here. I guess the hazards are a little different. You could have 2 separate ones, because I feel like... Here, let's check. This is going to be, what, 70, 60, and 60. 60, give or take 70. You know what I mean? Like, all this should be one. There shouldn't be 3 separate severe thunderstorm warnings for basically all the same thing. 1-inch hail, 1.25 inches, 1 3/4. Know what I mean? It's a little more specific, but okay, now we only have 2. 70, 60. I guess the hail is more concerning and the wind is more concerning on this one. So I get it. 2 separate different things, I understand. This is 3-inch size hail. It's bigger than baseballs. 70-mile-per-hour winds. And we got some rotation. 2 separate areas of rotation on the storm. And again, we have storms initiating over here that are going to become linear later. It's HRRR, composite reflectivity. Let's look. So you see we have our little line of storms. I mean, this just did not play out the same. This is where we see our line of storms at 2 a.m. And we already have that line of storms, I feel like. I mean, literally we could... Do you see what I mean? Like... Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking it looks like there's a chance at these storms initiating, but I don't see it, dude. I really don't. And our only tornado warnings are back over here in Wyoming, associated with this massive line of thunderstorms spanning... I clicked the wrong thing. I believe that's measuring the radius, so we're talking about 110 miles. So that's going one way. Has the chance of the tropical disturbance in the eastern Pacific gone up? Let's take a peek. I think it's still... It just depends on where it was at last time. Last time I looked, it was at 80% in the next 7 days. So let's take a look. It's at 80% in the next 7 days. I'm not confident that this is going to go and affect land anywhere. Definitely not in Mexico. Hawaii should be paying attention, though. Because any storms that do form in the Pacific are going to be, like, supercharged this year. Examples that I can think of last time we had a strong El Nino is, like, Hurricane Patricia was, like, off the chain, like, ridiculous. So, yeah. The storm could get pretty strong here in the Pacific. Nothing happening in the Atlantic. It's crazy how like fast the how fast these storms all kind of merge on top of each other. Yes, the Western Pacific, like way out here. I think just the Pacific in general is gonna be busy. I don't even know if the National Hurricane Center covers these storms, so I wouldn't be able to see what's going on over here. I don't think. Yeah, if anything is going on over there, I can't see it. But yes, during El Nino, generally, this entire area is super busy. All right, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning in Wyoming. I think they're just moving it or updating it. Yep, they're giving it a tornado possible tag, 70-mile-per-hour winds, and an inch size hail. It may honestly be even more intense than inch size hail. I don't know. Or it's just really heavy rain. Texas has a new severe thunderstorm warning. Goodness gracious, there's so much overlapping going on. The destructive warning is gone. You can honestly kind of see a hook here. Is it rotating? Kind of. Some rotation in the storm down here. But this is basically just a wind and hail threat for these storms at this point. Possible brief, weak spin-ups as well. Two tropical storms. Gotcha. They updated this tornado warning. It might include Cheyenne here soon. So you can see the whole front edge of that is rotating. So any of these segments that organize could produce a brief tornado here in Wyoming. And I don't think Wyoming sees that many tornadoes per year. So this is kind of rare. Let me... Wyoming sees 10 to 12 tornadoes a year, so this is pretty rare. Out of 365 days, they see 10 to 12 tornadoes. And there's a good possibility that this could produce at least a brief one in this line of thunderstorms. And this is definitely going to reach Colorado, Nebraska, maybe even northwestern Kansas later today. A severe thunderstorm warning in Colorado for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1 3/4 inch size hail. Over a whole lot of nothing, it looks like. So that's good. Not really impacting that much, hopefully. So Des Moines, New Mexico. There's a hailstorm over that right now. And it's slightly rotating. This big Mesos MCS, it's oh my gosh. Let me look up the difference for y'all. MCS versus QLCS. Okay, so MCS is a mesoscale convective system. A QLCS is a type of mesoscale convective system, but it's more of like a squall line, very linear kind of thin. This is more messier. So we have a mesoscale convective system here. And again, oh my goodness, are we seeing something fire in Kansas here? It's possible. Our storms might be beginning to fire here in Kansas. There is 3.5 hours left on this tornado risk. And our only tornado risk is not even in a tornado watch on this. We can see it start to bow out a little bit. The velocities are kind of, I want to see this on satellite. Jeez. I mean, we actually might have some very intense hail in this. New severe thunderstorm warning in Oklahoma for Ellis and Woodward. And they're not cleaning these velocities out on this radar, so it's very hard to tell where that main area of rotation is. Where's that new severe thunderstorm warning? They're updating this one for 60-mile-per-hour winds, 2.5-inch size hail. That's a little under baseball, so like tennis ball size hail going on with some tropical storm force winds. These storms that are now entering Oklahoma on the Texas Panhandle border are destructive. You do not want to be out in these. That is for sure. Don't want your car out in it either. We have flash flood warnings in effect for the next 2.5 hours for this area. We also have new flash flood warnings in Arizona and Indiana. Over here in Benson for the next 2.5 hours. You can see it's a lot of heavy rain being dumped over there in Arizona. There's not really a whole lot of place for that water to go when their soil is not that absorbent. Still have a severe thunderstorm warning over here in Mississippi. Actually, a pretty intense MCS right here. So this mesoscale discussion says EF1 and their high-end EF1s are possible inside of this mesoscale convective system as it moves into Oklahoma. Let's get a broad look at our rotations. There's area of broad rotation, very strong rotation Not like strong rotation, but strong winds rotating over here near Chautauqua, Oklahoma. We have an area of rotation down here. Two of them, actually, north of Briscoe and between Briscoe and Canadian. See if our storms are intensifying here in Kansas. Looks to be that way. Bunch of 75 or 70 mile per hour wind gusts being reported here in Wyoming. You can see where this tornado warning is coming from. This hook right here. Still can't see the velocities all that well as it gets closer to the radar here. So radars are right in Cheyenne at this airport. So let's see if we can get a look at the storm in Cheyenne. See if we can get. There's got to be Cheyenne traffic cams out there. There's got to be. Okay, here we go. You can kind of see it here on this one. You can see that giant line of storms, so I should be able to show this no problem. Let me pull it up for y'all. So you can see this line of thunderstorms here. I don't think I can zoom in, but you can see that line of thunderstorms on I-25 in Wyoming. So they're going to continue this tornado warning in Wyoming for this line of thunderstorms that we can see. The big shelf cloud on it. So that is what it's looking like in Wyoming, in Cheyenne. All right, we have a rotating wall cloud here being reported. Well, actually, this is 20 minutes ago. You can see these velocities are pretty strong over here near Chautauqua, Gage, and Arnett. A severe thunderstorm warning over here for 60 mile per hour winds and 1.25 inch size hail. I mean, I just don't see anything going on. Here in Ulysses, Kansas, we can see we have 0 tornado warnings ongoing now. So we'll see if anything can get going here in Kansas. But our tornado threat has been underwhelming so far. I'm gonna pull up the outlook here. So yeah, our low level jet is gonna start getting involved here if these storms start to initiate. But they're pretty confident that they were possibly going to upgrade the tornado threat. Now let's see our soundings to see why. I mean, yeah. Oh, we got a new tornado warning. Is it going to be on the storm I was talking about? It is. Or we can see these velocities. I need some water. So I will be back. Alright, we are back. Let's check our velocities here. Very intense velocities. Yeah, they're moving into this tornado warning. Got 73-mile-per-hour gusts being measured out in front of this tornado warning. Looks like our storm in Kansas might be getting going here. But I don't think... Check the HRRR reflectivity for 8 p.m. So that is where we're at. We can kind of see this storm. But there were supposed to be these big supercells out here in central Kansas and Oklahoma. The only thing we really have in reality is this. This is all we have. If we swap to our radar, this is all we have. I'll even swap it to the national radar. If it'll let me. Hello? And it's a sounding. So our national radar, this again, this is literally all we have. We got tornado potential over here on these storms in Colorado and Albuquerque, not Albuquerque, New Mexico. But if we jump between our 8 p.m. model and our radar, it's very clear. All the initiation that was predicted to happen has not happened yet. And we can look at our cap here. Where is what the heck? Model, sphere weather, cap, 8 p.m. Hello? Is this like not updating? Goodness gracious. So we still have like pretty high levels of sin at the surface. So we're really looking right around the Enid area, I think, is where our this Alva, Enid, Fairview, Woodward area is kind of our scariest area, but this is where we have our MCS to the south. So I think if discrete storms start firing in this area, that is where we're going to see it get concerning. We already have a hail core on this Ulysses, Kansas storm. But I mean, I don't see anything, dude. At least not right now. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Nothing's like. We have 270-mile-per-hour wind gusts over near Arnett, where this area of rotation is. That wall cloud report is from a while ago. But this is our only concerning area of rotation. I mean, we have an area of rotation down here. It's just so broad. And we have a flash flood warning in effect for the next 3 hours here. Like Florida was supposed to have more rain. So the HRRR kind of did not really pan out if we look here at Thursday. Yeah, we were supposed to have like a lot of convection go off here. So HRRR, I think, is having a bad day predicting storm initiation. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna switch models. Let's go with the Rufus model for Thursday. If it ever loads. I mean, I don't think we're gonna see anything in our area. I mean, this hour is gonna show if anything's gonna happen or not. Yeah, 50-mile-per-hour winds and almost inch-size hail here in Kansas now. Nickel-sized hail. Our tornado warning expires here in 15 minutes. A big MCS here. Punxsutawney. Philadelphia. Another one over here near Scranton, Pennsylvania. And this is basically just, this is ongoing till 1 a.m., but it's really for wind and hail. I think our sneaky tornado window is up over here. Wow. Yeah, this MCS is basically dissipating. Storm doesn't have a whole lot of spin on it either. So yeah, I don't know. Ah. Storm that we did have an issue just died. These storms over here, they spinning at all? I got some spin, but they're embedded spins. I don't know, dude. I don't know if we really got anything happening. So really our only storm in Kansas. And it ain't spinning. And it ain't really moving that fast. I don't even think it's in our... It is kind of... We bounce between. It's about to enter our risk area. So maybe. Just maybe. I'm a pretty strong area of rotation over here. And Allison. A severe cluster of thunderstorms over here in Canada. We still have a severe thunderstorm warning over here in Mississippi, but it's probably gonna, it expires here in 9 minutes. The storm's already passed. We have 9 severe warnings, and 4 of them are associated with this MCS here. 1 in Colorado, 2 for this line of storms up here that just passed through Cheyenne. As it enters Colorado. Yeah, completely up to date. And we had a 90-mile-per-hour gust. Woo. 93 miles per hour. And we got a wall cloud report. On this area of rotation. That is no longer a tornado warrant. I'm upside down. So, well, yeah, this MCS is just a hail and windstorm at this point. We do have some areas of rotation in it, but no tornado warnings active at all. Severe thunderstorm warning on this Kansas cell. Looks like we might start to get some spin on it. Is it beelining it for our tornado risk area? Not really. It's kind of just standing still. There we go. There's the tornado warning. Again, I was ahead of it. This thing might genuinely be on the ground. Nothing on CC, but very strong area of rotation here. I believe he's kind of just eluded us. Looks like it might weaken as fast as it intensified. See our sounding for this area. There is a tornado in there. I don't think anybody can see it. Don't really have anybody on it. I got that ongoing for the next 36 minutes, but this storm over here near Pampa actually looks more concerning. Or it's just, oh, we got a new severe thunderstorm warning here. 70-mile-per-hour winds observed. Dang. I put a tornado possible tag on this MCS. 70-mile-per-hour winds on it as well. Special marine warning in Tampa. I don't see it on here. It's probably a storm over the bay. Pretty intense winds. I mean, definitely don't have anything on the CC. are somehow, I don't even know if that's a house necessarily. These are just structures of some sort. Looks like it'll pass to the south of Allison. Oh man. I mean, those velocities are intense, but like, like 80 miles per hour going one way, and then 100 miles per hour going the other way. Or not 120. It's like 30 miles per hour. So we're at high end EF1 gate to gate shear on the storm. It's about the intensity we'd be looking at if this were to drop a tornado. It does not look like a clear signature that one is ongoing, but definitely concerning enough to issue a warning. Check on our Kansas storm. Are we spinning at all? No, we're not. Got a hailstorm in Kansas. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the live stream. If you're new here, it's not been a whole lot happening in the last hour. We do have a tornado warning down here in Texas along the Oklahoma border because of this area of rotation. It's pretty fast wind speeds. It's not, it'd be rain wrapped inside this MCS that has formed in the last 2 hours. It doesn't look like we've had what we thought was going to pan out actually pan out in this tornado watch area. These storms were supposed to be initiated already. I'm not seeing anything really start to pop off here. And we did have a tornado up here in the Oklahoma Panhandle earlier. But I mean, man, there's just not a whole lot going on. The storm in Kansas got the atmosphere all to itself, though, so we'll see. I mean, this model has a couple of storms popping up around this time, but we only got one so far. I don't see anything else really popping up. I just blue screened. So I opened YouTube on the wrong tab. I mean, yeah. I really don't think anything is going to. It's like so hard to say for sure, but I mean, I just don't see anything. Like outside of this tornado warning down here. And it's not observed or anything. It's just a really strong rotation. So nothing ongoing here near Allison. But I wasn't even all the way updated on this thing. Looks like a new area of rotation is beneath it. Yeah, that's like really intense winds at a minimum. And an 1.5 inch size hail in there. Maybe a hook trying to form on this storm. We'll see how it develops. So it may start to get some spin here. So we'll see if this storm can organize, start spinning as it heads toward our 5% tornado risk. It is I need to mark it. So this is our storm. Should have marked that a little clearer. So that's our storm. So it's about to enter our area of concern here. So the core of that storm is still outside of it. But as the storm moves into this is where it gets concerning. So, I don't know. I don't think this forecast is panning out to be the forecast it was made out to be, but again, or this could just be beginning here in Kansas where it was supposed to initially start outside of this MCS in the Texas, Oklahoma panhandle areas that actually produced a tornado earlier and a crazy hailstorm that had 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts measured. I'm expecting a new mesoscale discussion here soon. Oops. Wonder if our Wyoming line of thunderstorms is weakening. It does not look like it's weakening at all. Still 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1.25 inch size hail. It's going to be this tornado warning. They're shortening the amount of area it's covering. That's pretty intense rotation there. And you can kind of see the hook embedded. So I don't know. Still radar indicated. Nothing confirmed going on there, but definitely concerning looks on the velocities. Up by our 90-mile-per-hour wind gust we had not that long ago, we have a pretty strong area of rotation. I guess not that strong. I was on the wrong radar. It's pretty broad. All right, we got a new mesoscale discussion here for the next hour and 22 minutes where the storm is at. EF2 level tornadoes are on the table. And we're going to see if this is the first storm in Canada to get going. Let's look at the sounding here. It's kind of it's sharp. Dude, that is some sharp shear. This storm starts organizing. There's nothing going to be holding it back. It's also got a storm behind it that is starting to build. It's not really a good look at it. Keep watching the storm. We're back. Is our storm looking impressive anywhere? Not exactly. Don't exactly see anything immediate. Oh, this storm. Oh, that actually looks like. It looks very concerning as far as velocities go. So this tornado warning, and then the next scan kind of weakened it. The velocity is not as strong there. This storm is just weird looking. 50-mile-per-hour winds reported in it. I mean, I just like. Don't really see a whole lot going on. Back, I really don't like this. Doesn't look like you can just see how like sheared this storm is. Like you got the convection and it's just boom like that. Like there is no like I don't know what to say, man. I just don't think what they had in mind is really gonna play out. I don't know. These storms over here aren't crazy, you know what I mean? They're just like normal afternoon thunderstorms. It's a marginal tornado threat there. And the area where we have this, we have tornadoes on the table, the F2 plus. That is for, and they just moved the location of it. All right, look at this hailstorm back here. 2.5-inch hail. Tennis balls. Got tennis balls over here heading towards Mobeetie, Texas, up here in the Panhandle. Lubbock has seen some inch-size hail. Friona has seen a 73-mile-per-hour wind gust. I can't see these storms over here. Now, this storm is not spinning. And it's in an environment where it could be. You know what I mean? Like, I'm starting to think that, I mean, I guess not. This does not show Oh, that's a 0.9 on the STP. Let's go look at our STP values. Oh, there's a very small window. And we're already almost done with it. I don't know, dude. I just don't see it happening, man. I think they're tripping, dude. Could eat my words on this, bro, but I don't see it, man. I don't see the STP values. I don't see the initiation they were looking for. Um, now let's look at our accumulations here. Precipitation. Can I see it? Cannot. I mean, this is our only ongoing tornado warning. Radar indicated fairly broad rotation at this point. Nothing too immediately concerning. They're just going to slap a tornado possible tag on this and call it a night. Ouch. Got 3 new severe thunderstorm warnings. Got this one in Kansas being updated or about to expire, actually. This is a new one for this MCS. 70-mile-per-hour winds possible in this mesoscale convective system over here in northwestern Oklahoma. And then there's severe warning. This 70-mile-per-hour hail and 2-inch size hail. Or 70-mile-per-hour winds, 2-inch size hail. Can't even speak. Ooh. I mean, dude, come on. There's literally no STP values, dude. Let's look at this most recent one. Like you have I guess this is the Rufus. Let's look at the HRRR, the more accurate one. All right. This is right now, right? This is our significant tornado parameters right now, and we're actually closer to 9. So this is more what we're looking at. We have a 2.7 as our highest risk. This does not, like, it doesn't get more intense. It falls apart, dude. I get you don't need high levels. Like a 1.5 is not nothing, but it's like, I don't know, dude. Let's look at where's our cap? I feel like this is our main this is our main reason. Like, we're not really seeing anything. We have a very strong cap in place. I mean, and our cape is not, it's not off the charts. It's really not. I mean, 2,500 joules per kilogram, like, again, like, that's a lot of energy. It really is, but like, it ain't being used. That's all I'm gonna say. There's nothing initiating in that area. This is our area with the crazy S to P values. We can look at our sounding and see why. We're gonna have a lot of helicity. We're gonna have a big looping honograph here. Where's our? We have a 6.4 on the significant tornado parameters. Where's our? Trying to find a number. I can't find it. Anyways, our best chance at seeing a tornado is in this area. And I just don't see it happening. There's nothing here. There's like not a storm in sight. Like these storms, are they spinning? Not. They're not spinning. They're not spinning fast. That's for sure. I might see these two start to organize. Looks like there's a developing hook on this cell right here, and this is in our 5% hatched area. Let's take a look at the sounding over here. I mean, yeah, it's possible over here. You have the wind profile to do it. Like, it looks like it might start to organize over here. And the velocities are not off the chart by any means. I mean, they're just not. So I don't know. After switching to a radar that's closer to it, I don't see it, dude. I just don't. That's because our tornado warning, our only tornado warning that we have is expiring. So is our severe thunderstorm warning for our only storm in our tornado watch that is like supposed to be concerning. We got some big hailstorms up here. Inch size hail on both these cells. Down here in northeast New Mexico. But yeah, I just don't see. There's an hour left on this, and the storm that did fire here is not impressive at all. It's your normal thunderstorm. No shape, no nothing. Whereas earlier, man, like let's look back at the supercell we had. If I can't go back far enough, dude. We had one impressive supercell all day. I mean, our storms are just falling apart here in Kansas, dude. I mean, if this pattern continues, I'm glad. I'm glad that the significant tornado threat may be a bust. I mean, I feel like all 13 of our severe thunderstorm warnings come from this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them are on this one mesoscale. We got 1, 2, 3. That's kind of it. Got a bunch of rainstorms over here in Pennsylvania. I mean, yeah, man. I don't know. I'm going to check one more model run that I can't show on stream. But I'm going to go use the most accurate one I know of. And if I don't see anything really going on, I don't know. This will probably be the end. Because I don't see anything going on. I really don't. I think we'll have some storms fire near Wichita, but it doesn't look like anything like super cellular. Yeah. I mean, we may see some storms. I mean, we do start to see these storms up here by Wichita, but again, none of them they're not spinning, dude. They're just not. And they're not even going the same direction of where the models have them going. So, it's probably going to be it for my live stream. Thank you all for coming out. Keep your alerts on just in case anything happens. But yeah, please like, subscribe for future streams.